A new morning has just begun, and I should have felt peace watching Henry sleep soundly in my arms. Yet ever since my ex-mother-in-law tried and failed to take him away yesterday, unease has filled my heart. Last night, I barely slept, afraid she would return and carry on with her unfinished plan. Henry is still too young to realize that someone is trying to tear him away from me. His tiny hands clutch mine, his innocent eyes shining brightly. And in that very moment, I know nothing can break my resolve. Perhaps she believes I am unworthy. Perhaps she thinks I cannot provide enough. But what could ever be more worthy than a mother's love and sacrifice? This morning, the instant I heard footsteps outside the alley, my heart tightened. Could it be her again? Could Henry be in danger once more? I held my son close and whispered silently, "No matter what happens, I will protect you." My dear friends, is Henry truly safe today? Will her schemes continue? Or is this only the beginning of a far greater storm? Stay with me, and together we will uncover what lies ahead. After yesterday's failed attempt, I thought my former mother-in-law would finally give up. But no. The moment she left my house, her restlessness only grew stronger, and she became even more determined to take Henry away from me at any cost. In her mind, there was only one plan arrive early this morning: stop me from leaving with my son, and use pleading words to persuade me to return to her household. And if I refused, she was prepared to go further, even to the point of taking Henry by force. The thought alone sent a chill down my spine. Henry is still so little blissfully unaware of the storm waiting to tear him from his mother's arms. Watching him sleep peacefully, my heart ached with both love and fear. I know that a mother's love is the strongest shield, but can it withstand such ruthless determination? This morning, I steeled myself. If she dares to knock on my door, I will face her. Whether through sweet words or hidden schemes, I will not let Henry be taken. My child is not an object to be fought over. He is my heart, my life, my very soul. This morning, as the sun had just risen over the fields, I was busy with my usual chores. The farm was alive with sound chickens, clucking fish splashing in the pond, the broom swishing across the courtyard. It was peaceful, and I allowed myself a small moment of contentment watching Henry play nearby. For once, I felt life could truly be simple and safe. But then the calm was shattered. From the entrance came a voice, loud and trembling, echoing through the farmyard. Tu na oi, tu na. I froze. That voice, I knew it all too well. My heart skipped a beat, and the broom slipped from my hands. Turning toward the gate, I saw her, my former mother-in-law, walking in with an anxious look, her steps heavy with determination. I felt a rush of anger. "Why again? Why here? Why are you here?" I demanded sharply. "What do you want this time?" She raised her voice, trying to soften it as if we were still a family. "I just came to visit you and my grandson." Her words cut deep. My jaw tightened. "Leave. Stop disturbing our lives. Henry and I don't need you." Her face twisted with a pained smile. "I know I've made many mistakes. I know the past is heavy. But Tuna, please, forgive me. Forgive." The word felt bitter in my mouth. She wanted forgiveness, but her eyes carried a plan, not sincerity. "My son and I are doing just fine," I replied coldly. "You don't need to interfere." Still, she pressed on. "Huang An has gone to the temple. I have no one left except this grandson. If you and Henry return with me, I promise, I swear I'll treat you well. I'll give you a good life." Her desperation rang false to me. A promise coming from her? No. I couldn't let her words dig into my heart again. I straightened my back, forcing every ounce of courage into my voice. "Go back. I will never trust you again. I will never step into that house, not now, not ever. Please leave us alone." This time, I did not tremble. I didn't avert my gaze. I stood firm because I knew the truth. The moment I softened even a little, she would seize the chance. She would twist her way into our lives, and perhaps worse, she might actually take Henry from me. I could see it in her eyes, that flicker of determination. She wasn't here just to talk. She was here to test me, to break me down with pity and persuasion. And if words failed, I feared she would try something far darker, so I held my ground. For Henry, for myself, for the life we had begun to rebuild. As the wind brushed past, I clutched Henry close and whispered silently in my heart, "No matter what happens, I will not let anyone tear us apart." And so I stood there firm as stone facing her, knowing that today was only one battle in a much longer war. After what felt like an endless confrontation, I finally stood my ground. No matter how many times she begged, no matter how many promises she tried to wrap in sweetness, I did not give in. My words were firm, my tone unshaken. She had no place in my life, and certainly no place in Henry's. Her face hardened when she realized I would not bend. With a heavy sigh, she turned toward the gate. I stayed where I was holding Henry close, watching her steps retreat. And when the sound of her fading footsteps reached my ears, I finally exhaled a long, weary breath. For the first time in a long while, I felt lighter, braver, stronger. I realized that I was no longer the timid woman who once wavered in fear of her words. I had changed. I had chosen to protect my son with every ounce of strength I had. And in that moment, I allowed myself a brief sense of relief. But what I didn't know, what I couldn't even imagine, was that her departure was nothing but a lie. She had not left at all. While I busied myself inside, believing the storm had passed, she lingered just beyond the gate. Hidden behind a thick bush, her eyes were fixed on the house like a predator stalking its prey. She knew Henry was inside. She knew my guard was dropping, if only a little now that I thought the danger was gone. From her hiding place, she crouched low, her breath uneven, her fingers trembling with a twisted determination. I wasn't there to see it, but I can picture it now. The glint of obsession in her gaze, the madness curling in her thoughts. In her mind, if persuasion couldn't bring me back, then force would. If words couldn't soften my heart, then an outrageous act would achieve what she wanted. And as I held Henry humming softly to calm myself after the storm, I was completely unaware that another even greater storm was gathering right outside. Her footsteps had not really faded. They had only paused, biding their time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. That morning, I thought I had won. I thought my courage had finally sent her away. But in truth, the battle had only just begun, and the danger was closer than I ever dared to believe. After all the tension earlier, my heart finally felt lighter. I stepped back into the house and let my eyes rest on Henry. He was curled up on the bed, breathing softly, his tiny chest rising and falling in peaceful rhythm. The innocence on his face calmed me, and for a moment, I simply sat there, gazing at him, feeling that everything I was fighting for was worth it. But then reality tugged at me. The pigs out back were probably hungry. I had left their feed untouched since morning. With a sigh, I told myself I'd only be gone for a short while. After tending to them, I planned to take Henry over to Mrs. Tong's house, and together we would begin harvesting for the day. I stood up, glanced once more at Henry sleeping soundly, and stepped outside. Behind the house, the earthy smell of the pen surrounded me. I busied myself scooping up feed, pouring it into the trough, and watching the pigs crowd eagerly. For a while I lost myself in the rhythm of farm life, simple, grounding, and familiar. But what I did not know was that in the very moment my back was turned, danger had slipped through the gate. Moving quietly, she entered my home. My former mother-in-law's steps were almost soundless, driven by desperation. And there, lying defenseless, was Henry, still asleep, unaware of the shadow looming over him. She bent down, trembling hands reaching for him. In her mind, this was her chance. No more words, no more begging, only action. She scooped Henry up in her arms. He stirred slightly, but his sleep was too deep. No cry, no sound escaped his lips. In seconds, she was out the door, clutching my baby tightly against her chest. Her heart pounded, but so did mine, though for an entirely different reason, still believing Henry lay safe inside. While I was scattering feed and wiping sweat from my forehead, thinking of the day ahead, Henry was being carried away, stolen, taken from me without a trace. I thought I had bought us peace, but instead, I had unknowingly left the door wide open for the nightmare to come true. As I bent over the pig pen, the feed scoop in my hand suddenly cracked. The handle snapped and the grains of feed spilled everywhere, scattering across the dirt floor. I froze for a moment, a strange shiver running through me. An uneasy weight settled in my chest, though I quickly shook my head. It's just an old scoop, nothing more, I told myself. Still, that nagging feeling wouldn't leave. After finishing the chores, I washed my hands and feet, eager to return to Henry. I imagined his soft cheeks, his peaceful breathing, and the way he would smile when I kissed his forehead. But when I stepped inside the house, my heart dropped into a void. The bed was empty. The blanket lay crumpled, but Henry was nowhere in sight. Henry, Henry. My voice cracked as it echoed through the silent room. I rushed from corner to corner, searching under the bed behind the door, even though I knew he couldn't have crawled far. Panic swelled, clawing at my throat. Henry, where are you? My cries grew frantic. Trembling with terror, a single thought stabbed through my mind. Her. It must be her. My former mother-in-law. She had threatened, pleaded, lingered. She hadn't truly gone. The certainty hit me like a knife. I stumbled outside, sprinting to the gate, desperate to catch even the faintest trace, footprints, a shadow, anything. But there was nothing. No sound, no sign, no clue. Just emptiness. My legs buckled beneath me. I collapsed onto the dirt, my body trembling uncontrollably. My hands clawed at the ground as sobs tore out of me, raw and broken. Henry, my son, where are you? Tears blurred my vision until the world itself seemed to dissolve. My chest ached as if my very heart had been ripped away. The strength I thought I'd found this morning crumbled into dust. I cried until I could no longer breathe, until I felt as if I might faint from the grief. But even through the blur of despair, one truth seared itself into my mind. Henry was gone, taken, and now my fight was no longer about resisting her. It was about finding him, bringing him back. How were to begin? I didn't know. My body shook with weakness, yet a flicker of determination sparked beneath the tears. Because no matter what it takes, I will not stop until Henry is safe again.
Ngay trên con đường xa lạ này, đây chỉ là sự tình cờ hay một âm mưu đen tối đang chờ đợi, với những bước đi của Nha dường như lại càng rơi vào thế nguy hiểm hơn khi những bí mật dần được hé lộ. Người đàn ông đó là ai? Có phải anh ta là người cô có thể tin tưởng, hay chỉ là kẻ lừa đảo muốn lợi dụng hoàn cảnh khó khăn của cô? Với tất cả những lo lắng trong lòng, Tử Na không chỉ phải lo cho bản thân mà còn lo cho con trai mình. Liệu có thể vượt qua thử thách này một cách an toàn? Câu chuyện này chắc chắn sẽ khiến bạn phải đắm chìm, không thể rời mắt khỏi màn hình. Đừng bỏ lỡ bất kỳ chi tiết nào trong hành trình của Tử Na, vì một chuyện quyết định của cô ấy sẽ không chỉ số phận của mình mà còn là đứa con nhỏ yêu quý. Vì vậy, hãy nhớ đăng ký kênh và bật chuông thông báo để không bỏ lỡ những video mới nhất trên kênh của tôi.